Okay. Now I just need to share the link. I'm also gonna need to see. Well, I'll look at the chat on my phone. Wait. Oh, we are live. Okay. Well. Oh wait. No. 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 We're not. We're not live yet. I was about to say. One second.
Wait, I can't hear
Oh
y'all.
wait. You can't
There
hear
we
us.
go.
Okay. You can.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're live. What's up, guys? It's Lionel the Builder back again with another video. Today we have two special guests, Peyton and Mike. It's an Amazon recruiter and a government contracting recruiter. Since some of these guys already know Peyton, Mike, my bad. Can you introduce yourself and please tell us a little bit about your story and what you do?
Yep, what's up, everybody? I'm Mike, and originally from about South Virginia Beach area. I've been in recruiting, I think, since I want to say 2014. Don't quote me on that, but I've been in the recruiting field since 2014. Graduated from George Mason University, studied business, and transitioned into recruiting, like I said, around 2014. I've done everything from I've worked for defense contractors, some of the largest defense contractors, and now I'm within the tech space. But I recruited not only technical folks, but entry level, college, campus, mid-level and senior level technical and non-technical roles. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And can you, as well, Peyton, since Mike doesn't know you and some of our other viewers?
Hey, I'm gonna have to just step out for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. Okay, cool. I'm just sharing the link real quick, giving everyone a little bit of a chance to come in here. What's some small talk we can do while we're waiting? What can you mention what is your favorite thing about your role, and then your least favorite?
I would say the favorite thing I like about recruiting is the impact. I mean, I get to, and now that we're in the office now, that's probably that might be the least favorite, but it's not. It's actually not that bad. But now that we're in the office now, we get to see the people that we've hired. So literally, people that I've hired over the pandemic, I see them. I met them in person over the last couple of years now that we transitioned to the office, and so it really gives you a sense of a sense of change, or it really shows you how you change people's lives. Like these careers really change people's lives.
Right.
So that's my favorite thing about it. And then also I just like the ability to develop and the autonomy to create programs and initiatives. I'm not bound to just recruiting one type of way. I create my own ways to do it. And I like the flexibility and creativity when it comes to that. But yeah, I would say the worst thing, I guess, is I got to come to the office, but I mean, it's not that bad. I'm only 20 minutes away, so I can't complain.
Okay, true. So when I met you, you were just visiting. You were down here visiting family?
Yes, correct. Yep. I come down to the Hampton Roads area probably like once a month or something like that, a couple times a month.
Okay, cool.
Hey, y'all. Sorry.
No problem. Welcome back. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell a bit about your story, and then I'm gonna ask you one question before we jump in.
Yeah, of course. So, hey, y'all. I'm Peyton. I'm a technical government contractor recruiter with SSI, so Super Systems Inc. We are based out of the Virginia Beach area, so local around here near Lionel and everyone else, which is nice. Graduated from Mississippi State. Had a marketing degree. Was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to go into. I knew it would be somewhere in sales, just not sure which industry. My dad's actually been in the recruitment and sales side of the government for about 25 years. So interned with him, loved it, and decided to jump in it myself. And love it because I get to help people and get them into better positions every day.
Awesome, awesome. What is your least favorite thing about your role?
Um, I think my least, I don't know, I don't really have a least favorite. I think it's just when I have like a hard position, like I'm such a perfectionist that obviously like I want the best guy that's going to really go over and really do the job and is going to love the job. So I think the only time that I don't like it is when I'm stumped on a role and I like can't seem to find the right person, or it's not like the right pay for them or the right location. And so then I just get frustrated because I'm like, I either really want to help this person, but I also really need to fill the role. So it's that's like probably the worst part. And or like when somebody goes in for an interview and I think they're great and I think they're perfect, and the next day the position was filled by internal recruiting, and I'm like, no, he was perfect. So that always is disappointing, but it happens. And I reach back out to those guys if we have something else open up, and typically we do, and we'll find another position for them.
Okay. Well, thank you guys both for taking the time to do this with me. Our community really appreciates it, and they're very, very happy that we're now connecting with recruiters and that they're starting to see roles being posted into the group and everything. So for those of you watching live, please join. The links are in the description. And without any further ado, we're going to dive right into this first interview or resume here. We have 4 of them. And excuse this janky cover-up job I did here. I just loaded everything into Canva a little bit pressed for time. So, of course, their name is here, the phone number and, email and stuff like that is in here. Probably their GitHub as well. But we're just going to imagine that part and try and get some feedback on everything else. The person whose resume this is, I'm sure knows who it is. They all are in the Discord, and they've been asking me for a while, hey man, can you either review my resume or do you know anyone who can? So I figured this would be a great way for us to do this. We're also live, so if you guys watching live have any questions for them or any feedback, comments, go ahead, drop your comment. But let's take a look at this first one here. What do you guys think so far off what you're seeing?
Yeah, so sorry, Lionel. I gotta turn my camera off so I can see the resume a little bit better and turn my phone sideways. For me personally, so for government contracts, especially when I send over resumes, I hate the splicing. So like having one side of education and one side experience. So putting it below it, right? So you have your professional experience, and then below experience have education, below education have, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All cohesively. And then the biggest thing is it needs to have professional before the word experience. So that's like 2 things right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and Lionel, can you either zoom in or it's hard for me. Okay, much better. So I would say depending on the type of role you want. So if you are, I think what's important with the resumes is knowing where you are in the search and like your experience level. So if you're entry level, and really anything, any role that you're looking for, you want to put your most important experience at the top. So if you're entry level, you're right out of school, education is always going to be at the top, because campus recruiters or people that are looking for folks that are within a couple years of graduation, they're going to want to see your graduation date, the month and the year. So I'm glad this person has that, and they have their degree, which is super, super important. So again, think about that. If I am trying to do a role, what's my most important criteria? If you have like a clearance, you want to put that at the top. If your certifications are the best, you want to put that at the top. So always try to think about that. And then scroll up to the top. I would say for me, and also you want to make it as easy to read and navigate as possible. I don't mind the column thing, but I do get what Peyton is saying. It's slightly a little bit hard to navigate. It's kind of creative, I guess. That's why people do it. But resumes don't have to be pretty. They just need to be functional and easy for folks to navigate. So if I'm looking at this, Actually, this right there for the skills part. Let's go there. So it says scrappiness, writing, prototype design, thinking, code outreach, video.
What's wrong with
Um,
scrappiness?
that don't what is that? I get it, but it's almost like saying I have communication experience. You can't just say it. You need to explain it in the bullets, or like, instead of saying I'm a good communicator, I would say experience presenting to 20 top level executives per month, or something that gives me a metric and it tells me that I can communicate instead of just saying I can communicate. So the scrappiness thing isn't really necessary. Even writing, not necessary unless you need to explain that maybe you've written 10-page documents, or
Mm,
you were in design reviews or something. That tells me that you can write. You don't need to write that out.
okay.
Um, the skill should really be, especially if you're trying to do something technical. What's this person's major again? Scroll up again.
Business administration, but he's
Okay.
definitely looking for a developer role.
Okay, and he's information systems. Okay, cool. So your skills is, especially if you're trying to do something technical, that's where you can put your Python, your Java, your Linux, your whatever. So
Okay.
these kind of you have front end development, but what type? Is that JavaScript? Is that React? Is
Right.
that HTML?
Right.
So put it next to that so that we know what it is. And even you have social media campaigns. I mean, elaborate what that is. And I mean, you would put that if you're going for a social media job. If you're not, you won't necessarily need it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those are a couple things that I would call out.
Okay.
Yeah, and to Mike's point, yeah, definitely for people that are entry level, put the education at top. My only thing with education is like if you graduated from college in 2002 and you have 18 years of experience, I really don't care about your education because you have
Agreed,
18
agreed.
years of experience. But that just, obviously he's 100% right, right? Like if you have like you're maybe 4 or 5 years into the workforce, even six, seven, eight. If you're below 10, then you definitely want to have that education up front. Anything above 10, it still needs to be in there, but it's not as relevant.
Mm. Okay, awesome. That was amazing feedback. Thank you. I'm even learning some stuff, and I hope that people are bookmarking this. So, well, my question is though, because I noticed that you said social media campaign could be removed depending unless he's going for a social media job. Are you guys fans of tailoring your resume for each job that you're applying for and removing stuff that doesn't apply? It's a little bit more work, but would you say that that's something that someone should do?
100%. I even said to you, Lionel, I was like, it's great that, you were a truck driver for so long and it shows that you did something. But I said that has absolutely nothing to do with tech and what you want to do. So I would keep it, if you want to keep it in there to show that you are committed to that company, I would keep it as a one-liner. I was a truck driver at so-and-so's company for so many years, but no reason to elaborate on it. If you're a beginner and you're entry level, right, you obviously want to showcase that maybe you've done some internships or you've kind of hit in different, like maybe you were a server at some place and you got an internship here, then you were, I don't know, something, you worked at Walmart for a little while and you're trying to break into tech, you just graduated. You obviously need to lay out your experience and what you've done because you're new. But if you're 5 years out of college and you've had, let's say, two jobs, so for 2.5 years you've held two professional jobs in IT, then anything that you did before college, whether it was like a server or working at, again, Walmart or something, is not relevant.
Mm.
So take it out because it has nothing to do with tech or what you can do. Again, great for entry level right out of college. That's what I did. But after 2.5, 3 years of me being where I'm at, I would get rid of anything that has nothing to do with recruiting and sales. And that's just from my side. I don't know how Mike feels about that, but especially for government contracting, we want to see your technical skills. And especially if you've done if you're recently graduated, if you're entry level, write in some courses that you did or projects that you did in school. Like, how is that, find that relevant experience of what you did in school, because technically, right, you had to have done projects or something that can relate to the role that you're going for.
Okay. So somebody
Man,
commented,
she's
"You
there.
guys are brutal."
Look, this
I
this is
don't think
like
we're brittle.
But no, Peyton, I'm about to get a headache from shaking my head with everything Peyton says. She knows what she's talking about because here's the thing, and even when it comes to listing things, if I like, I worked as a in high school, I worked at Hardee's as a cashier, and even if I graduated college, the only way I would include that is if I was like the lead, like the supervisor, or I managed teams of 5 people, or I developed a standard operating procedure. If you don't have any big contributions, you can list it as one liner if you want so that people can know that you had something, but don't waste your space. If you were a babysitter, like nothing's wrong with that, but if the role is not that, no need to waste up space for it. And then I just want to double down on what you said. Project experience. I don't care if it's side projects, personal projects, anything like that. Like people often say, "Oh, I don't have experience in tech. Oh, I don't have that." And then I talk to them, and they build a whole computer, or they have Linux server. They have servers at
Mm-hmm.
their house, and I'm like, "You put that together, and you don't have that on your resume? That's legit experience." So it
Right.
doesn't just necessarily have to be in working for a tech company, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific tech internship. If you helped your family build out a website for their small business and you didn't get paid, that's experience. Or
Right.
you do things on the side, that is experience. So you want to lay that out. That's more important than just saying, your 9 to 5 jobs that might not have any significant contributions. But if you do decide to put, hey, I was a shift lead at so and so place, put the important things that you've done, the big contributions.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Someone said if the role isn't listed, then it would show a gap in employment, though, right?
So
So
the
it
pay,
depends. Oh, go ahead. You take
no,
this
you
one,
go.
Mike.
No, you go.
Okay. So this is a perfect example. I had a woman apply for a position that I had the other day. Um, and just so y'all know, we mostly do Department of Defense jobs. So they're really, really interesting. You're working on either naval ships or with the Marine Corps or the Army. So she was in the Army for, I think, 15 years. She took a 2-year break these last 2 years, like a legitimate break. But she did all of these certification upgrades, all these trainings, all this sorts of stuff. And I told her, I said, the government's a little bit different than the private sector. And especially when you're in tech, and Mike might agree with me on this, especially when you're in tech, if you take 2 years off of your technical skills, so many things change in a week in the tech world, in a day, and 12 hours and 5 hours. There's all these new things, right? So you need to showcase, and this is what I told her. I said, it's not a bad thing. I'm very glad that you had that time off. She was overseas for a while. Um, but I said, you need to show exactly what tech you touched, what programs you did, what trainings, whatever it may be, what you did during those 2 years that maybe you could consider as like educational break to increase your education. So there's nothing wrong with having a gap as long as you're showing what you're doing is related to the role, right? Now, sometimes times might get hard. You might have gotten laid off, something horrible happened, you had to just go get something stable to support either yourself or maybe you have some dependents, whatever it may be. But that's explainable, right? So you could easily just add it in as a one-liner and explain to the people, hey, look, the market was hard, couldn't find a position, needed one ASAP. And anyway, that's all I'll say about that. Mike, you can take it.
Yeah. No, I don't. The only thing I have to add is, yeah, during those breaks, just do something. We got a leadership principle at our company called Learn to Be Curious, and that's super important when it comes to tech, folks. It means I'm curious about technology, so I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly going on YouTube, Udemy, LeetCode. I'm reading articles on AI or tech, or I'm designing websites or building mobile apps on my own.
True.
There's something that you can always do during the downtime.
True.
So that's what you can put in the gap. Again, those side, and you just literally can call it projects, personal projects, professional, whatever you want to call it. And you can just do that. Or, and this is something too, there is, I've seen so many bad websites, so many companies that are like, hey, can I consult with you? So if I'm a technical person and I have some expertise, I would be going to the school systems and be like, hey, your website sucks. Can I actually provide some free service, a free consultation for you?
Mm-hmm.
Or can I tell you about the cloud and different, you can, or your family, your friends, all these different things. So feel free to utilize that. So now you actually have experience during your downtime. It might not be like paid experience, but it's still something that you can put on your resume.
Okay. And well, since I'm on Zoom and not Google Meet, we have 10 minutes to go. So let's continue. Here's a short and sweet one. How do you guys feel about what you're seeing so far?
Scroll down. What he graduated, was it college? Oh, web development.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an associate's. To Mike's point, put everything in education at the top and then scroll up. Sorry. Um, I like his summary. Don't know about Mike, but for the DoD, we take out summaries, just because they're, we're sending him in for the role, which is probably the same for him. Um, the skills though, and to Mike's point as well, like how did he use JavaScript? I mean, I guess he's just listing them out. Um, but make sure he puts that technical mumbo jumbo within his projects. I see it a little bit, GitHub, Bootstrap, and his Vitalware experience right there.
Mm-hmm.
But don't see JavaScript in it. Maybe it's just because I'm looking at your screen. Excuse me, but yeah, always add as much technical as you can get. So I always say, like, obviously I'm a recruiter, right? So I can't know every single thing that every single different job that I employ for. It's just not possible. I'm not an expert. But what I do know is the more technical you have, the better. Just explaining, like, hey, this is where I use JavaScript, or how I used it, or this is the project, or this is how many, I don't know, I used it for so and so. That would be about the only thing. Honestly, it's a pretty good resume. Just moving that education up, because it appears to be like he's junior, from my understanding of it. But other than that, I like the layout. I like his bolding. The font's good. I mean, it looks nice.
Okay. So you guys aren't fans of the purple and green, orange resumes?
No.
Yes.
Throw it in the trash.
Yes. I mean, maybe if you're going for like a graphic design role and they want a sample of your stuff, I don't know. I've never seen anyone say they need pictures and art and color and stuff.
Right.
It's just a,
Okay.
Well, I employ for the government. They do not want color.
Right. Good point. Okay, I'll let you do this one, Mike, because we're running out of time a little bit. I just put fake info for the name, but
okay. Can you zoom in a little?
right. And
All right.
how do I
Versus,
get
let's see.
rid of this? There we go.
All right, first things first. So summaries, summaries of qualification professional summaries aren't necessarily required. They're okay if you have them, but basically, if you want them to be able to tell the recruiter or hiring manager to give them an intro to you. And also, if your background does not match the role that you want, the summary helps us be able to see that it could. So for this one, it's pretty, it's decent. I will say, even when it says seasoned IT professional, let's put a number, say 20-year IT professional or something like that. Like, you don't have to use these fancy word fillers or word. Just use the number. If you're seasoned, how many years? 20 years, 15 years, whatever that is. So do that. Education. And to her point, yeah, if you're seasoned and you got, 15 years of experience, education, it's fine to have it, but that's not that important for this type of thing, so that can be moved down. It's fine here, but again, you want your most important stuff here up the top. So if I'm 10, 15 years experience, it doesn't really matter what my degree was. Technical support engineer service department, cutting resolution time by 40%, love it. Metrics, so that is super, super important. So that's something specific and data centric, which is important. They said they cut resolution time by 40%. That's huge. Initiate programs to enhance. So even this with initiate programs, if you had a number for that, so maybe you initiated 10 programs per year or 20 quarterly or something like that. That's what you want to do. Metrics are really good. 25% improvement in reliability. Perfect. Great. Lead website. Perfect. Troubleshooting. Great. So these are all very, very good bullets. Scroll to the next one. Sysadmin developed 20%.
Is he on the market?
He's in the Discord. Yeah, he's in the Discord.
Does he have a clearance? I'll take him.
Okay.
Yes, he did good.
Brandon Evans. I'll let him know.
IT support delivered tier 1. Yep. So honestly, scroll down a little bit. Maybe I would probably swap the technical skills and education, again, he got a lot of great experience, so education can go towards the bottom.
Okay.
Or, I mean, and then, yeah, he got certs and stuff. Yeah, this technical stuff is the bread and butter. That is the sexy thing. So he needs to put that up top, move education towards the bottom because he's not entry level. But other
Okay.
than
Yeah,
that, he did a
Security
great
Plus
job.
is so big. Security Plus is so big. Move that to the top right now.
Okay. And I see. I don't know if I did that, but move that back. Okay.
All right.
Cool. So yeah, I'll let him know. What 1 out of 10? What would you guys say for this one?
What do you think?
I'm not, I think he did a pretty good job. I'll give it an 8,
Okay.
a strong
Yeah.
8.
I think 8's a great way. I think it honestly looks really good. Obviously we're picky, so we want to see those certifications at top and the education on bottom. But that's stuff that takes 30 seconds for a recruiter to fix. It's not a big deal. It's just all about the formatting. And the last thing, just to add, if you're applying for a position, let's say, I don't know, this guy looks like a system administrator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just has administrator as his title, but he's applying for a system admin. Always make sure to include that. Like, we can play around with your job titles because you might actually be doing the work, but it's just a different title to explain how you've done it, if that makes sense.
True. Okay. Cool. So last but not least, we have this one here. Blocked out the name and all that information. But since Mike did the last one, did you want to do our last one, Peyton?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so he's got his technical skills, front end. Keep going now. Why does he have like the link and okay, he's a developer. My developing guys. They love to put their technical stuff in their title, which is fine. We just take it out because it's supposed to technically be in like where your bullet points are. Okay, keep going. Oh, he needs month and dates for that, like restaurant front end developer. I just see a year. How long did you work there? Is this his professional experience? Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah, it is.
That's his professional experience. So where's the up top projects?
YouTube clone. Yeah, these are projects, and he just put a year next to them. YouTube clone.
Okay, yeah, he needs to label that and move his
Right.
professional experience above the projects, and then his education. When did he graduate?
Oh.
2023. That needs to be at the top. Put the professional experience before the projects. Label the projects for date and times. I don't like the big bullet points. That's just me though. And did he say he had the certification down there under the education?
Hack Reactor.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that needs to be at the top. That's about it. I mean, honestly, he's just, I mean, he organized it well. It's never like the formatting is fine. It's just the way you organize it for it to read cohesively. So, like, for me, I didn't even know those projects. I thought that was experience. That's why I was confused.
Oh, okay. I think we have like a minute left. So before we get cut off, I just want to thank you guys so much for taking your time out of your day and for also being a part of this community. We're growing. I'm sure videos like this is going to help us reach and help even more people, change lives, help them break into tech and stuff like that. Is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap up and before we get kicked off?
Thanks so much, Lionel. Nice to meet you, Mike. It was good to speak with y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yep.
Thank.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. So that's our second live review of, the first one was an interview with the tech recruiter. This one, we're reviewing resumes. If you guys would like to get your resume reviewed, go ahead, join the Discord, shoot me a message. Okay, cool. The meeting just ended. So we made it. This was like a last minute thing I had to set up. I'm here at Assembly right now, but no problem, man. And shout out to y'all for sending your resumes. You know, we would have nothing to review if it wasn't for y'all. I really feel like we unlocked a new level of the Discord now that we're also connecting with recruiters. Man, it's been awesome. Definitely gonna keep it going so far. Thank you for watching. I'm Lionel the Builder, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Have a good day, everybody.